Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this afternoon for a album review, and I thought I was gonna do this album review last night, but YouTube delayed my upload for the Fit for a King track review to 2 hours or so. It took them almost 2 hours to get it uploaded uh, on their end, so the processing was being a bitch and so was the checks. So it finally worked around 11 o'clock at night last night, and I was like, "Are you serious? I recorded this at 9 o'clock, and you're gonna upload it then?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know." Their site is just sort of whacked up a bit sometimes, but hopefully this one will upload at the time I want it to upload. So I'm reviewing Lorna Shore's new album, Pain Remains, that I just got done listening to for this 10-track album and a runtime of 61 minutes. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the deathcore band Lorna Shore, Pain Remains, and let you know my thoughts on this new album of theirs. So let's dive into this album review. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to review this album because, in my personal opinion, I thought Sun slash Eater was the worst song, but I have a different opinion now, and it's to my liking now. So I'm like, okay, I was wrong. This band's really good. So you can get on the told you so train and all that and say, yeah, I told you so. But yeah, I was wrong. Deathcore, it just depends on the band, I guess. So maybe I'd have a little bit more of an open mind if I listen to more deathcore music. But for now, we're gonna get into the track list. So the first song on this album is "Welcome Back, Oh Sleeping Dreamer," and off the bat, I really love this track. Will Ramos's screams in it are amazing, and just his pig squeals are great. His growl screams and whatever kind of monotone growl screams he does. It sounds really good. And I'm just like, damn, this song goes hard. For 7 minutes and 21 seconds, you're in for a great song. And I like the melody at the beginning of it and just the build up to the scream. Sounds really good. So when Will Ramos comes in for his scream, it just sounds really good. So 5 out of 5 for Welcome Back, Oh Sleeping Dreamer. Into the Earth was a really good song. Really liked this one. I wasn't sure if I was gonna review this track when I listened to it or after the Sun slash Eater song, which I got a different opinion about that track as of now. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for Into the Earth. It's a great song. Will Ramos's screams in it are great, and his growls and his pig squeals are great. So you're not in for any melodic singing. You're just in for pure screamo in this whole album and other deathcore kind of sounds that he does with his screams. And the breakdowns are great in this album for sure. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for Into the Earth. Sun slash Eater. At the time, I thought it was the worst song, but now, as of listening to it a second time, I can understand where I was wrong. Because I wasn't used to this kind of band sound at the time, but it's grown on me throughout time, and this is a great song for sure. I just like the build up with the melody going into Will Ramos's scream at the minute or 2 minutes part of the track, and it sounds really good. So it was a lengthy song, but it was really good. So 5 out of 5. Cursed to Die was great. Really liked the breakdowns in it, and Will Ramos screaming, and the guitar work and drum work is really good in this album for sure. But the last three songs are probably the masterpiece of to close this album. So I will mention that in my honest opinion about it when I get done with the other tracks, talking about them. So basically, Curse to Die was a great song. I really enjoyed it. It was a single that came out a few months ago. I just never reviewed their other tracks until I'm doing this review now. So yeah, it's gonna be titled with a parentheses with this video and all that. With okay, I was wrong. This album rocks or whatever. This band goes hard or something like that. I don't know. I'll decide what to title it. Uh, Pretty much, Curse to Die is getting a 5 out of 5. Soulless Existence was great. I love the pig squeals from Will Ramos in this track, and just the way the song goes hard with how the breakdowns sound, and just the symphonic melodies through majority of this track sound really good, and just the way it sounds overall, it's a great song in my opinion. It definitely rocks for sure. So 5 out of 5. Apotheosis, I believe is the song's name. Um yeah, this is a really good track. I wasn't sure if I was on board with it at first, but it's grown on me to my liking. So yeah, 5 out of 5. And Wrath is the ne- next song after Apotheosis, and it's right before you get to the Pain Remains trilogy songs. And this is a great build up to the next song. Uh, well, there's more of a build up as you get into the Pain Remains trilogy songs for the last three songs on the album. But 5 out of 5 for Wrath. It's really good. I really like Will Ramos screaming and his pig squeals and other things like that in this track. And his just the way his monotone growls, screams sound is really good in my opinion. So 5 out of 5. Pain Remains 1, Dancing Like Flames, is a deathcore ballad, and I was really surprised with this. I could hear the emotion in Will Ramos's screams in this track, and it was really good, and I really liked it. Basically, it builds up with a really sad tone kind of melody at the beginning of it, and it sounds really good with the melody. And sorry about my congestion and my scratchy throat. My throat's getting a little ticklish because it's wanting to cough. So I'm wanting to cough, but yeah, that would mess up the video a bit, but still. Dancing Like Flames, great song in my opinion, so 5 out of 5. Then it builds into the next song, has a little continuation to the next song, which is After All I've Done, I'll Disappear. Pain Remains 2. After All I've Done, I'll Disappear. Great track. Really enjoyed it. It's another deathcore ballad before you get into the final track of the album, and it's got some raw emotion with Will Ramos's deathcore screams, and just the way he's screaming in this track is great, and I could feel the emotion through this track. These songs will make you cry for sure, with how they sound. Like some reactors have cried to these last three songs for the album, which I haven't seen the music videos for them yet, but I will check them out in due time. So 5 out of 5 for Pain Remains 2. After All I've Done, I'll Disappear, which has some dark lyricism, but it works well with how it's sounding. So, the final track on the album, and finally we get to the last song, which is Pain Remains 3, In a Sea of Fire. Great track. It's a very lengthy song. It's close to 10 minutes long. It's like 9 minutes and 12 seconds of a runtime, but it does very well. So I really enjoyed this track. It has some good breakdowns. Will Ramos' screams are great in it, and just the way he's singing with the way he's growling, monotone growls, pig squeals, and no two say kind of screams and all that kind of stuff he does. Uh, with his screaming potential. Sounds really good, so I'm surprised he didn't lose his voice doing this album. Because, yeah, you can. And it'll mess up your vocal cords big time. So, yeah, that's just what I think, at least. But who knows? It just depends on how he's singing the track and all that is where it executes very well. So 5 out of 5 for the last song. Pain Remains 3 in a Sea of Fire. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think this is one of the best albums of 2022. And I was really surprised. I went into this with an open mindset. I only heard one of the singles, and I thought it was bad at the time, but now it's grown on me, which is Sun slash Eater. And that song has grown on me to a liking. So I really enjoyed that track, even though it has some weird pig squeal moments with Will Ramos's screams. It does very well over the listener. So yeah, overall, I think Pain Remains by Lorna Shore, their new album, was an excellent album. It's a masterpiece for sure. It's something to remember for 2022, and it will be a contender for Album of the Year. So, first score for me, I'm giving Lorna Shore's Pain Remains album a 10 out of 10. It's a great album. It rocks for sure. It hits hard with they go very hard with this album. Even with the deathcore ballads, it sounds really good. Pretty emotional with the lyricism, but very good with how it's sounding overall. With the Pain Remains trilogy songs. So I really enjoyed the last 3 songs on the album. It closed it out very well with this album. So 10 out of 10 for Lorna Shore Pain Remains album. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Lorna Shore album Pain Remains, if you've listened to it, and if you enjoyed this album review I did just now. I was supposed to do it on the 14th. I never came around to it because I was suffering with laryngitis, and I'm still going through it, just the congestion and the coughing now. So, I hope it doesn't turn into bronchitis, which would be bad. Which I've had the barking cough, which is not very good, but I'll just see how the next few days turn out with this cough and all that. I just can't sing at work anymore for a little while. So if you did enjoy this album review for Lorna Shore Pain Remains, the Okay I Was Wrong, they're good. This album's good, and so is the band. For this album review, comment below and let me know what you guys thought of this album review. Tap like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can, support the channel. I'll have another review for Architects, the Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit album review coming out sometime tonight. So expect it for a premiere on October 20th. And yeah, I'll have some reviews to do for TV shows, movies, and etc. for other things I plan on doing for today mostly. So until then, stay safe, take care. I hope you enjoyed this long album review for Lorna Shore Pain Remains album review. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. And as always, I will see you in my next review.